At today's Senate Environment Committee hearing, Senator Bernie Sanders expressed concern about Joseph Goffman, President Biden's nominee to be an assistant administrator for the Office of Air and Radiation of the Environmental Protection Agency. The Vermont senator's questions related to Goffman's record implementing a provision in the Inflation Reduction Act. The provision pertained to the affordability of solar panel installation for working-class Americans. Sanders said that he needed written assurance from the EPA that his program would be implemented to help homeowners, specifically in the spirit of his provision. Sanders said he would support Goffman's nomination in the committee, but he wouldn't vote for him on the Senate floor unless the EPA satisfied his request.
Committee. Today, we will be considering the nominations of well-qualified individuals to serve in the EPA, the Tennessee Valley Authority, Federal Highway Administration, and the Southwest Border Regional Commission, and we will also be considering the adoption of GSA leases, including $18 million for much-needed repairs at a federal building in St. Albans, Vermont. Let me very briefly discuss my concerns about one of the nominees up for consideration, Joe Goffman, who has been nominated to lead the EPA's Office of Air and Radiation. I have nothing against Mr. Goffman, and I hope and expect that he will do a very good job in the position that he has been nominated for. What I am concerned about is the implementation of a provision that I worked on with Chairman Copper that was included in the Inflation Reduction Act to provide the EPA with $7 billion in federal funding for zero-emissions technology. The legislative intent of this program is to make it more affordable for low-income and working-class homeowners to install solar on their rooftops and save money on their electricity bills. And by the way, when we do that, we create hundreds of thousands of good-paying jobs. If this program is implemented properly, it will provide solar to more than 2 million families in the United States over the next 2 years and catalyze up to 10 million residential solar installations over the next 10 years. Unfortunately, since President Biden signed the Inflation Reduction Act in August, I have been unable to get a firm commitment in writing from the EPA to implement this program consistent with the clear legislative intent. The $7 billion program was not put into the Inflation Reduction Act for nuclear, electric vehicle charging stations, or any other type of energy. It was included in this bill primarily to expand residential solar and reduce the energy bills of millions of low-income and middle-class families. So let me be clear. I will be voting for Mr. Goffman in this committee, but I will not support his nomination on the Senate floor until I receive a commitment from the EPA in writing that it will implement this program primarily to expand residential solar throughout this country. And I want to thank Chairman Copper for his leadership on this issue and look forward to our continued work together to expand residential solar, lower the cost of electricity for consumers, and combat the existential threat of climate change. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Sanders, I'm pleased to be able to work with you and your team